Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you guys a habit that will end up making you wealthy. Wealthy at the end of your life, wealthy by the time you retire, wealthy even before you retire. This habit is going to make it for you. Now, what a lot of people do when they have a plan to get wealthy is that they save money in banks. Listen, your savings can never make you wealthy. They can never make you wealthy. As a matter of fact, the more you save, the poorer you get because the money in the bank is literally whittled down by the rate of inflation. So I'm going to give you an example, and this is a real life example. Right now in the United States, the highest savings interest rate is from the Apple Card with Goldman Sachs. So if you research it, you're going to see that the highest commonly available savings rate is from the Apple Card, which is the new product from Apple, the people that make iPhone, and they domicile that account with Goldman Sachs. So they're offering people a savings rate of 4.15%. And that's unheard of because most banks are going to offer you a rate less than 1%. But then to still, because it's a new product, to just launch it and to steal customers from other clients, other banks, they're giving a novel interest rate of 4.15%. Now, look at that. It sounds good on the surface. But then if you look at it, if you think further, you see that the rate of inflation right now in the United States is almost 6%. So you have a 6% inflation rate and you got a 4.15 savings rate. So are you saying that the more you save, even at that 4.15, the more you save, the more your money is being whittled down because the inflation rate is higher than the savings rate. So it makes no sense to save money. If you look at the Forbes richest list, the richest list, you're going to see that the people there, when they declare their assets, what makes them rich, they never declare savings in the bank account or even a checking account. It's never there. And I just dare you right now to go on Forbes, the richest list, the 100 richest people in the world, and look at what makes them rich. You're not going to find savings accounts or checking accounts or any kind of account there. They get rich because of their assets, which are investments. They get rich because of their assets, which are investments. It's not because of any money in the bank. People don't keep money in the bank. Nobody keeps money in the bank. So you have to understand that. If you don't understand that, you're going to fool yourself and think that you can get rich by putting money in the bank, by saving money in the bank. As a matter of fact, the only purpose that bank savings, the only purpose that they have, and it might shock you, is they want all of the poor people or the people who think poorly to gather their money and put it in the bank and park it in the bank. And when you gather all your money and you park it in a bank, then all the rich people, the elite, the aristocrat, the top 1% go to that bank and take all your money that you're too silly and you're too foolish to know what to do about, and then they borrow it and then use it to make money. So get rid of the idea that savings can make you rich. No. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't save, but here's the thing. You want to save for emergencies. You want to save for emergencies. So you save only a very small amount of your wealth, a very small amount of your the total wealth in a savings account or in a checkings account for emergency. Now, that's not even necessary nowadays. It's not necessary, but if you must save, then you save for emergencies. Or you're saving to invest. And even at that, saving to invest is no longer necessary. I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain to you. You see, nowadays, the best way, not nowadays, it's always been like that. The best way to get your money to work, to make you wealthy, is by investing. It's always been that way, right from the time of Christ, before Christ came to the world, from the time of Abraham, and then even before Abraham, from the time of the pharaohs, from the time of the Polynesians, from the time of the Hittites. Investments have only been the way that you can become rich, become wealthy. So when you get money, when you make money, maybe from an earned income, or maybe somebody gives you some money, or however you get money, what you want to do is you want to invest the money. Now, typically, the two best ways to invest money and to make it work for you very quickly are real estate, and that's for a long-term plan. Real estate, because if you invest in real estate and you put in tenants into that real estate, or you put in short lets, or you Airbnb it, the real estate itself is an asset. but then it also becomes an investment asset when you put, people so that you can get cash flow from that real estate. So two things are going to happen. The value of that real estate over time is going to increase, and so you can sell at a profit. And then while you're waiting for it to increase, you can also get cash flow by putting tenants in. But then that is a long-term, would I say, plan. The fastest way in the short term to make your money work for you is actually through the stock market. And we've got a 98-year history of the stock market being indexed in the S&P 500. So we can learn from that. Now, what a lot of people do, the mistake a lot of people do when they want to invest in the stock market is that they want to invest immediately on Amazon, on Meta, on Alphabet, on Pfizer, on Bank of America, on the big stocks. Now, the thing is that these stocks are no longer growth stocks. They are now establishment stocks. So that means that they've grown to the point where they are going to grow. And then it's still going to be possible that they're going to grow, but the growth is going to be very minimal. So if you put your money there, yes, you might have some growth, you might even have some subtraction. But the thing is that either way, growing or going down, it's going to be minimal. What you want to do, because if you think about it, you know, 15 years ago, there was no Meta, there was no Facebook. Meta is now the parent company of Facebook. If you look at it now, 30 years ago, there was no Google, there was no Alphabet. Alphabet is the parent company of Google. So you have to ask yourself, what were these stocks 15 years ago and 30 years ago? They were actually growth stocks. That means they just came into the market, they had an IPO, and then they began to grow. So you go back, because like I said before on this channel, the best predictor of the future is the past. So you go back and then you study those stocks. How were they at their initial stage, at their infancy stage? What happened? You see that venture capitalists went into these companies, gave them money, and they began to grow. So don't look now for the Amazon, for Google, that which is now Alphabet, for Meta, for Pfizer, for Bank of America, for Deutsche Bank. Don't look now for those companies. Look for the companies that are going to become those companies in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. So we look for pre-IPO, venture capitalist driven, in a stock. So you look for pre-IPO venture capitalist driven stock. So you look for fintechs that are founded in maybe in the Silicon Valley, but it doesn't have to be in the Silicon Valley. It can be in Cambridge in the United States. It can be in Lagos in Nigeria, which is now a very, very big hotbed for fintech, or anywhere. You just look for fintechs that are coming up. Or you also want to look for tech companies that are coming up. Or you want to look for pharmaceutical companies that are coming up and that have very, very good promise. And how are you going to know that they have very good promise? You want to see the ones that venture capitalists are investing into. And then you want to buy into those stocks before or just as soon as they are coming in, as they're having their IPO. That's how you get into the next Amazon, the next Alphabet, the next Meta, the next Deutsche Bank, the next Pfizer, the next Wells Fargo. That's how you do it. So it's very important that you understand this, because if you don't understand that, you're going to put your money in a place where there is a very little area or very little room for growth. So you have to understand that the greatest room is the room for growth. So you have to look for the stock that has the greatest room for growth. And one of the ways that you can do it is you can do it by indexing. If you don't know how to index, watch my video on indexing. It's the 2 videos ago on this channel. So you have this video, you have one more video, and then the third one in the order of sequence. So that third video, I taught people how to index. So watch that video so you learn how to index. Because if you keep on saving money, you're never going to become wealthy. So you're going to ask me, well, I don't earn a lot. How do I invest? Look, it's very, very simple. If you take whatever income you're having, no matter how small it is, if you take that income, then what you want to do is you want to subtract your expenses from that income. Whatever is left is money that you should be investing. Whatever is left is money that you should be investing. You don't even have to save anymore. Remember, I said I was going to explain to you, because nowadays with your investments, if you have an emergency, the way investments are built nowadays is that you can liquidate all or some or just even a very small fraction of your investment and get cash. So you really don't have to save for emergencies. Like I've got S&P 500 index stocks, Vanguard Russell. If I have an emergency today and I need $80,000, I can actually get that money in less than 24 hours, within hours. So you don't have to save to invest. So I'm going to say this again. When you get your salary, you minus your whatever your needs are, you minus your needs, you minus them. So your rent is going to be your needs, your food is going to be your need, your electricity bills, your utility bills, they're going to be your needs. So your expenses, you minus them from your income, and whatever is left is money that should be invested. So when I say that your expenses now and your needs, your new phone that you want to buy, that's not a need, it's not an expense. You already have a phone. So that's a want. So you have to have the point of maturity whereby you know the difference between your wants and your needs. So the money that you should invest are the money that comes as a result of the subtraction of your expenses, which are your needs, from your income. So if you subtract your expenses from your income and you got nothing left, then that means that you are living above your means. So you got to find the personal discipline to whittle down your needs so that you are able to have an income that is greater than your needs and your expenses. And when you do this and it becomes a habit, you're never ever going to be poor. As a matter of fact, if you do this and it becomes a habit, there is data that says that in the next 15 years, you're going to be wealthy. If you do that consistently, that in the next 15 years, you're going to be wealthy. In the next 5 years, you're going to be rich. Now, there's a difference between rich and being wealthy. You understand that? So being rich means that you have a lot of money. Being wealthy means that you have a lot of investment. So there is a big difference. So now, if you watch this and you have questions arising from this, put them in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring them to me and I'll do my best to respond to each and every category. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address. Beware of scammers, beware of spammers who create fake YouTube profiles with my image on them, and they approach people in the comment sections of these videos and tell them helpline, guideline, contact me for more profitable information, one-on-one mentoring. And then when you do, what happens is that they're going to ask you to pay $1,000, and that's the last you hear from them. And I don't want you to be scammed. Now, this is Onomokri, the Apostle of Prosperity, saying God bless you.
No travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is